It gets louder each time.
Yeah.
Starting.
Yes. Yeah, is his most point. And so there's a few other things like but that I think it would be
There's people talking in it, so it's come back with Steve.
Oh, I see.
But you need to be able to hear them.
Let's have a look and see who's on.
yes, because sometimes
Are they all muted online?
It's going to come back through that one. Can everyone hear us on Teams?
Yes. I'll give a message.
Yeah. Can you just let us know if you can hear us? So yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Anyone that's on there, so if you can. Okay, good evening everyone. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining this is the annual meeting for Wilton Town Council. As always, the meeting is recorded, so there will be recordings available afterwards on our YouTube channel that essentially and will be recorded. So before we start the meeting, we'll open up for 20 minutes of public questions. I'll just remind participants that if you can't speak any longer than 3 minutes, we can keep the meeting moving along. And it will conclude at 7:20, if not before. So I will start with those in the room. Thank you.
Hello everybody. First question, has the new public risk assessment been done reference the compound and car park project? Question number 2, has the council checked whether any planning permission is needed for the compound or car park project? And question number 3, reference agenda item number 16, the clerk's report. The clerk on behalf of the council is seeking to appoint, and I quote, a suitably qualified independent ecologist to provide impartial professional advice. The question is why the council already has in its possession a report produced and shared at no cost from 2 extremely well qualified and experienced ecologists is the clerk suggesting that their report is not impartial? Thank you.
I can. Yeah. So in terms of the risk assessment for the compound, that will feature on the project plan. And once a contractor has been appointed, then that will be part of the process, that the risk assessment and the method statements will all form part of the due diligence checks upon appointment. That will be.
Clarify, that's a flood risk assessment.
Oh, sorry, flood, okay, sorry. So yeah, flood risk assessment, that will all be part of the process.
So has that been done?
Not yet, but it's on pad to get done. In terms of the ecologist, then yes, there's been a report that's come in from Dr. Appleyard, and she has been thanked for that report. I've gone back to ask a couple of questions, so I'm awaiting a response. But as you'll see on the agenda, that is an agenda item for this evening, and the council can choose to progress that as an option or not, as the case may be.
So one of the questions, so question 2 was about has any planning commission, has any equivalent inquiry been made about any planning commission?
No, a pre-app inquiry is in process.
Okay, and just on that third one then, so the question was whether the council is seeking the professional independent advice because it believes that the advice has been given already is not impartial. So why?
The council never instructed that advice in the first place.
That doesn't really.
So the council was not able to vet or check who the advice was coming from. The council as a corporate body had absolutely no process or no involvement in the appointment of those individuals. Now, not to say that that's absolutely validate their capability or their credentials, but as you know, no one person can act on behalf of this council, and it would appear in that case someone did. So therefore, we're following the correct process as per our corporate governance policies.
Can I just say I didn't, not on behalf of the council, Wilton Wildlife Group founder, member, I've worked on behalf.
The correspondence that came from Dr. Appleyard said differently. So I'm not going to go into that.
On the council, that's all. No, I didn't approach the Wiltshire Council.
The correspondence from Dr. Appleyard said that she acted on behalf of Councillor Featherman. That's the correspondence we had. But irrespective of that, we'll be discussing this item on the agenda this evening, and we'll make a decision as to whether or not we will progress with a further ecological study.
So could I just clarify then that the council will be answering the question, because the clerk's report is very much a report of what the clerk is doing. So it is in progress doing on delegated powers. So my question is, why is this happening when there is already a report that has been made available to the council from eminent people in their field? You cannot question their qualifications, and yet the council appears to be seeking to go forward to pay for another report. And why would the council do that?
The council has not received the full detailed report from the ecologist as it stands now. So a detailed request of the species that are located at the wildfire that has been requested, it has not been provided as of yet. So
as of yet, the council is seeking to pay for another report. Why?
we have, on what, I'm not, this is, I don't think we should get into this today, but we have not got any, we have not instructed those ecologists, we have not had any background information from those ecologists. We are seeking our own independent advice. I would have thought that considering that we were trying to get as much advice as possible on this matter, that would, be acceptable. At the end of the day, we'll have a debate on it, or it's not a debate, we'll make a decision on it later on this evening, and we'll decide how to move forward as per the proper process, which was not followed when those ecologists were appointed. I'm not going to proceed with answering the question because I've given you a sufficient answer to the question.
Well, I think it's very unfortunate that this council is encouraging active public participation, and yet you seem again to be shutting down any legitimate challenge. All I'm simply asking is, you have a report you have it from eminent people who are extremely well qualified, and yet you seek to have another report. And the question of that is why?
With respect, the comments you make there are on your basis. Okay, you're saying they are eminently qualified. You're saying that they have provided a report. I'm saying to you, we haven't received all of that report yet.
Okay, so are you questioning their qualifications?
I'm not questioning their qualification. I'm just saying you are stating that here. We haven't seen that information. I'm not questioning their qualifications. But what I'm saying is we don't have all the facts in front of us. I'm not going to continue this discussion any further.
Mr. Mayor, just clarify one point. At this moment in time, there is no decision has ever been made about doing anything with wildlife in Wales. So all this is hypothetical at the moment. No decision has been made to do anything to do away with or keep the wildflower meadow. So at this moment, no decision has been made. So we are there's a presumption that something will happen to it, and that's not the case. If you ask members on the car park, representatives like Councillor Blanchard, also Councillor Maria Fenner, and others, and the park take that. No decision has been made on that account, as far as I'm aware.
You're absolutely right. It's a point worth noting to the record. There is no plan in existence to remove the wildflower meadow or move it or destroy it. Even contrary to speculation on social media, there is no plan before this council for that action.
So you've included it in the scope of work, you've included incorrect information on the scope of works. That's true, and that's been put out there. That's not.
There is no suggestion on that scope of work that the wildflower meadow will be destroyed or removed. I'm afraid, Ms. Johnson, you've had your 3 minutes, so I'm going to move on now. Thank you. Any other questions, please?
Yes, it's stated in the draft minutes of the full council meeting in April that the wildflower area in Castle Meadow was inspected by Ardbury on the 20th of March, and then Ardbury's inspection device said that the wildflower meadow is in poor condition and that further report is awaited. So my first question is, have any councillors read the initial advice document or the follow-up report from Ardbury regarding wildflower meadow? Have any councillors looked at this document? I attended the site visit with Dr. Anne Appleyard and Dr. Susan Fitzpatrick, who both said the opposite. The wildflower meadow is developing remarkably well, with 70 species recorded on a day. I sent a copy of this report to Clark and all councillors. The scope of works documents regarding car park in the compound asks is seeking advice on moving the wildflower area, but the council does not say where it is to be moved to. How can advice on moving the wildflower area be given when you are not able to say where the wildflower area is to be moved to? The accessibility, distance of the move, and the condition of the new site would need to be known before anybody could advise. As one of the founding members of the Wilton Wildlife Group, and it was the Wilton Wildlife Group that asked this report, and I don't know what to say, if Dr. Appleyard is included in her report the word councillor, that's just because she knows Maria's councillor. The Wilton Wildlife Group asked for that report. And as one of the founding members of the Wilton Wildlife Group, and someone who spent many hours working on the wildflower meadow, I have asked you to publish a report from Ardbury that says wildflower meadow is in poor condition. You should not be able to say wildflower meadow without providing a source report. It's disrespectful to all the volunteers who work on the project.
Yes, as Councillor Edge said, none of the information relating to the independent advice reports have been published because the council will receive that at the time of when they're going to be debating what phase 2 of the car park works, the details of that programme works.
So not a question, no mistake, just to remind everybody in the room and anybody else listening that Friday the 15th is the deadline for a consultation process on the safeguard fire stations. So if you haven't put your submission to try and keep fire stations and urging these together before Friday. Thank you.
Councillor Boyd.
So I've emailed in and asked for the report to see it. And obviously it hasn't got to be there. I was quite sure though, would either not write something like that down and it was in poor condition, or would they just, was it just word by mouth? The report.
So they have provided the assessment in writing.
Okay.
So that information will go to council as part of the debate relating to phase 2 works.
Okay, thank you.
Was my question answered about has the council seen either the report? From library?
No.
None of the council seen it?
No,
it's not twice. It come up. So no, have you already seen it?
No council has seen it.
Right. You will vote for it, it goes to the works.
It's not gone.
I propose moving on, Mr. Mayor. It's not going to be
Councillor Zis.
Sorry, I have a question from a member of the public who couldn't be here this evening. It's the market sign is a yellow AA road sign opposite the entrance to Wilton Village, and it says Wilton Market, public parking here. And she wondered if it could be confused with Thursday Market that we have in the town, and whether it was going to be there all the time the market's on, because she felt it's been there overly long. And I said I would pass that along to you.
That's one produced by Wilton Village.
Yes, yeah.
We'll have a look at that.
So it's for their weekend markets. But yeah.
Richard Captain didn't get heads on that, and I was there every weekend, and I did ask the organisers about that sign, and they said it goes up day before the market, then it comes down at the end of the market on Sunday, so it goes up Friday afternoon, it comes down on Sunday afternoon. So it's a curious that event at that time. It's not officially one sign. So you've also got one on the exit 6, which indicates where the loading area as well as, so you've got two signs. They're important, they're taken down.
Yeah,
So not trying, so that's confusing.
Any other questions in the room? Any questions from teams?
Doesn't look like it. No.
Councillor Church, do you want to give your update?
Not quite sure where to stand, but I feel like I'm always with my back to something. So let's go here. It's like anyone coming in. So here's my annual report. It's been an interesting and time challenging year for Wiltshire Council. A little bit about my minority administration board budget for its 26-27 budget year alongside 3-year financial forecast. I have serious concerns about several elements of the proposed budget and its long-term impact on Wiltshire taxpayers. These concerns include plans for 3 weekly bin elections, significant increases in parking charges, and 20 million of new borrowing, contributing to more than 76 million in long-term costs. Regrettably, the alternative budget presented by colleagues which focused on strategic savings and greater financial stability was rejected. And I remain concerned that this approach will lead to service reductions, harm to the local economy, and residents paying the price for decades to come. The proposed parking charge increase, including raising Sunday charges to match Monday and Saturday rates, and extending the charging hours to 7 AM to 7 PM will inevitably affect hospitality businesses, retail workers, and people attending places of worship. I also had issues about moving general household waste, that's black binning collections from every 2 weeks to every 3 weeks, and introducing a slot booking system at household recycling centres, change that many residents are understandably concerned about. Concerns about highways, road conditions and potholes continue to fill my inbox. As always, please report issues via my WhatsApp, and if problems persist, please escalate and contact me directly. I'm always happy to follow up with highways colleagues on your behalf. Finally, at county level, I remain concerned about the rejection of Wiltshire's draft local plan by government inspectors following nationally imposed changes that increase Wiltshire's housing target by 81%. This creates significant uncertainty for communities and increases the risk of speculative planning applications everywhere. Wiltshire Council now faces restarting an extremely complex and costly plan-making process that's likely to take several years, made even harder by withdrawal of funding for neighbourhood plans. So local highway highlights within the last year include A303 junction improvements. As you know, I'm an advocate of Stonehenge Tunnel, which was scrapped, and to alleviate congestion on the A303 and stop vehicles running through Wilton to avoid hold-ups on that road. In the absence of a tunnel, Highways England are looking to improve the A303 junctions in and around the A36. A360, sorry. National Reserve matters. Planning applications were withdrawn by the applicant. So this application relates to the building of 62 houses on a flood zone 3, with the substantive application going back to 2003. And due to the applicant being unable to overcome the Environment Agency's issues around flooding, the reserve matters application was withdrawn. It's expected the outline application may fall away, and any fresh scheme will have to need to come and to be agreed with the usual consultees, including the Environment Agency. And the future scheme would need to overcome whatever policies or requirements there may be at the time of the application. We have another update that came through this year around Wilton Council House to be sold. So based on a decision on the 8th of July Cabinet meeting, Council House in Wilton and Barker St Martin will be sold. The reason cited is that homes need renovating and proceeds will go towards building new houses, but I've had no reassurance that those houses will be built here. It's irresponsible in my view and goes against the work I did with colleagues to increase the provision of council homes in Wiltshire. Save our fire station. Thank you, Councillor Edge, for raising this one just now. So the DWFR's consultation on the closure of 8 fire stations in Wilton, including Wilton, due to budget pressures, closes on the 15th of May. That's Friday. If you haven't already done so, please respond to the consultation, which you'll find online. On Tuesday, the 19th of May at 10:30, which happens to be after the consultation deadline, I'm not giving up hope, and I have a motion at Wiltshire Council's full council meeting. I've proposed it, Councillor George Jeans of me has seconded it, and this is requesting that Wiltshire Council oppose the closure of Wiltshire's fire stations. So please do anyone come along, if you can, on that day to keep this in the public eye. SGN Gasworks to replace the old metal pipe with new plastic ones on Wilton Road in Salisbury, I know causes issues for people living this side of Salisbury, and it continues to cause disruption. So from Monday the 18th of May to Sunday the 14th of June, engineers will be replacing the final section from St Paul's roundabout to Windsor Road. We knew this was going to be a long haul, but I think they're getting towards the end of it now. Planning matters. There's a strategic planning committee meeting and session tomorrow, which I will be attending. The only item on there was the one item that I called in, which is a full application to build 407 houses at Netherhampton. That's what's being heard. I'm as we speak, writing my speech in opposition to this. They've already got outline permission, but I'm hoping that at least we can get a few people there to speak against it. I have concerns around Section 106, and they've already sought to reduce the Section 106 amount on the previous 106 houses that were built for Vistry homes, and I have no confidence that they'll put money back into the local economy and pay for our infrastructure. And it's good to see Wilton is flourishing. Happy Barrow acquired new premises, refurbishment to create a beautiful gift shop. Wilton Village, as we know, is doing their monthly artisan and craft markets, and I noticed they're doing really well. Read the Baker is extending its opening hours and opening on Sundays. So I'll continue, as always, to keep you updated on all these important issues via my verbal reports to you and on Facebook and Instagram. I just want to end by saying thank you to this council for all that you do for Wilton and the many community groups who tirelessly work to keep Wilton and our surrounding areas still in a wonderful place to live. I'm so happy that you're all committed volunteers for this town, And thank you very much. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Reference to the Nash Phelps site, would it be possible to talk to the owners about maybe doing a separate application for the old coach work, so that something could be done with that? Because if it remains tied in to the main site, another several years of a building that's becoming dangerous, it's an eyesore.
That's a good point, and I think what prevented them from developing the coach works was it was tied into the larger substantive application, and one of the reasons why it remains so derelict, I suppose, is that they had to start making some. They had to start on the planning application as part of their prior approval, and the way they did this was to demolish part of that. That was their making a start on it. But now that that planning application has fallen away, then it gives them every opportunity to just do something with that. I'll have a chat also with my planning consultants because of the eyesore that it's also causing in North Street, and whether my planning team, on whether there's anything that we can do in terms of trying to encourage that planning application to come in. Of course, it's their private land and they can choose whatever they want to do with it, but I'm sure they can't be happy with the process.
Thank you, point to your report. A couple of things. Yes, whilst the DWFRS consultation is on Friday, the actual hearing will be until middle of June, I think it is.
Yeah.
So whilst you say you're allowed a consultation process, that's going to be read into the consultation meeting anyway, as an addendum of nothing else. So hopefully that will still be relevant. So we'll
I'm sure you and I will be going to that.
yeah, we don't double on that one.
Yeah.
And also on the Highland 400 houses, if that does go through, I would urge you to see if a way can be done to provide section 1 and 6 money with still money, the footpath between Southampton and Netherhampton that's long been going on. As you know, that Netherhampton used to have their parish to extend right up to the boundary to the where the old railway factory was, and that when that was developed, still money from that was given to Netherhampton, was due to Netherhampton, was actually given to Harman, and gradually Harman and sort of taking over more and more of Netherhampton parish, because it goes right to the
bridges.
and it also goes up to the battle market as well now. So I think it's only quite popular that they should pay some money from the SIL or 106 money to actually provide that actual footpath for you without another. But I think it's also part of the Sussex route as well, isn't it? To a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, it comes down as far as Quidhampton certainly, but whether it extends to Netherhampton is doubtful. I mean, I have a real beef about how much, the lack of money for Netherhampton in this particular planning application. I know the villagers want a bus route, they're not on a bus route, and there's already buses that go quite close to Netherhampton now because of the extent of the building that's going to be going on. And rather than the bus, the R5, I think, turn around at the roundabout, just go down a few, another sort of 100 yards and pick up the villagers. So I'm going to really, talk tomorrow a lot about transport infrastructure and how Netherhampton is losing out and continues to lose out to Salisbury, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Pauline. With regard to fire station, I saw John Glenn at Salisbury Business Chamber AGMs, and he said he did have a useful meeting with the Minister in London. What he said to me, it all depends on the preceptor. Does that affect Wiltshire Council?
It doesn't affect Wiltshire Council, it affects you as the ratepayer. So there are two mechanisms, financial mechanisms available to us. There is the anomaly that exists with Westminster Treasury Department around how they fund the fire stations, because they base it on the housing numbers that they propose will be built in the future. And we fall short of that, so we're not getting the funding that we expect to get. So actually what they should be doing, that's the funding from the Wiltshire Council preceptor, what they should be doing is bolstering the grant that comes direct to fire authorities. So we're not getting a large enough grant direct from Westminster. That's the problem. So that's one mechanism. So that anomaly is what John Glenn has been working on, because it's a little more complex, but having been an ex-Treasury Minister, he understands it. So he's working on that for the long-term sustainability of our fire stations. The other thing is, the other element is to get the minister to agree a precept increase, which could then go up another, I don't know, £5 or something, in order to fund the shortfall that they have in the tax base for the next 3 years. And that's more likely to happen quite quickly. But yeah, he is, I mean, there's been a lot of talk at Westminster about this, and the minister does agree that it's underfunded. But it all depends on the timing of what can be agreed in Westminster in relation to the fire authorities meeting, and how comfortable the fire authority feel about either proceeding and closing or holding their nerve and waiting for this money to come in and throwing it out. We know Oxfordshire have ceased their consultation process, so there is a precedent for this kind of situation, which I'm hoping will happen to us.
Thank you.
Other questions? Thank you very much. That concludes the public engagement. So on to agenda item 1, the election of town mayor, chairman, deputy mayor, vice chairman.
So to elect a
Mayor chair for the 2026-27 academic year. The process for this is I'll take nominations from around the table. Nominations should be a seconder, and then we'll go to a vote in order depending on how many nominations there are. And then the same will happen for the deputy. So can I have for the nomination of mayor, could I have any of your proposals, please? Seconded. Okay, any other nominations? Okay, so the vote for Councillor Harris to take on the role of mayor, all in favour? All in favour, thank you very much. Thank you. For the appointment of the deputy mayor, can I take nomination, please? Councillor Boyd?
Nominate myself, please.
Yourself. Seconder?
Second, Councillor
So Councillor Boyd, any other nominations? Councillor Blackman. I've got a second for Councillor Blackman. So in alphabetical order then, if we start with, can we have those for Councillor Boyd, all in favour? Two. Two. And then votes for Councillor Blackman, all in favour. Councillor Blackman is duly appointed deputy mayor. Thank you.
Unfortunately, it wasn't an alphabetical order list.
No, it wasn't. Reverse alphabetical. Sorry.
Mr. Mayor, now that you're elected, you're now ex officio of Wilton United Charities, and the clerk asked me to give that to you.
Thank you very much. Wonderful.
Well, actually, that's the clerk of the United Charities.
Oh, the chair. You're not this one yet. Thank you.
We do have declarations of office to sign, which I'm happy to do at the end of the meeting, if that works for you both. Thank you.
All right, so on to agenda item 2. So any apologies? No, no apologies received. To receive any declarations of interest or requests for dispensation?
None received.
Okay. And then to approve the minutes of the full council meeting held on the 13th of April 2026. Okay, just before you do, is there any comments or questions on those? No? Okay, so I've got a proposal from Councillor Matthews, can I have a seconder? Councillor Wilton, all in favour? All in favour, thank you. On to agenda item number 5. So to confirm the re-adoption of the Stability and Respect Pledge, the Code of Conduct and
Excuse me, point of order.
sorry, yeah.
The emergency meeting.
28th of April.
Yeah, so you've got the 13th of April and the
Sorry.
28th.
Yeah,
You can vote on them on block if you want to.
so sorry, for the 28th of April, I should have made that clearer. My mistake, thank you for pointing that out. So any questions on those for the 28th of April? No? So councillor Batten proposed, seconder, councillor Willock, all in favour? Thank you, councillor Edge, for that. Agenda item number 5. So to confirm the re-adoption of the Civility and Respect Pledge, Code of Conduct and Dignity at Work policy. So you've been provided with the links to all of those policies, and the recommendation here is that we adopt or re-adopt those policies for 2026-27 municipal year, and Civility and Respect Pledge and the Code of Conduct and the Dignity at Work policy, confirming that these all remain in force and approved on an annual basis. So can I have a proposer for that?
We adopted.
Yeah, so proposal from councillor Matthews, seconder, councillor Ditton, all in favour? All in favour. Thank you very much. So adoption of the standing orders and financial regulations. So you've obviously been provided with the latest versions of that, albeit they've been known. Oh, well, sorry, that's another item. But the recommendation here is for the council to re-adopt the standing orders, revised financial regulations for 2026-27 municipal year. Noting they are based on the relevant NAUC model templates and approving the amendments to remove the assistant town clerk as a service administrator from section 7 of the financial regulations, and to note the update to section 9.8.4 related to the management of inter-account transfers. I'm going to I've got a proposer there. So councillor Ditton is proposing that. Have a seconder, councillor Blackman. All in favour? All in favour. Thank you. So agenda item number 7 for the adoption of Wilton Town Council's scheme of delegation. So again, the scheme of delegation has been provided. No amendments were made to this since its adoption in February this year. So the recommendation is that the council adopts the scheme of delegation in terms of reference for the 2026-27 municipal year, noting that no amendments are proposed at this time. Any proposers? Or councillor Edge, seconder, councillor Willock, all in favour? All in favour, thank you. Okay, agenda item number 8, so to reaffirm the membership of the Flood and River Management Advisory Committee. So you will see in the agenda that there are the listed members there. And obviously the chair as well. So the recommendation is to approve that membership for 25-26 and adopt the terms of reference for the Flood and River Management Advisory Committee.
Move it be approved.
No,
Okay.
Hang on.
Wait a minute, slow down.
The clerk, something like
I just wanted to just affirm it's the 26-27. I think you said 25-26.
It does say 25. I did.
Yeah, that's my error. Yeah.
My question, Mr. Mayor, is have all those existing members been contacted and happy to
It's a good question.
If they are, then that's fine.
So they only meet twice a year. So at the last meeting, this was verified. So I can't.
Well, I am aware when members not particularly well.
Right.
So this which is why I've asked the question, really.
Okay.
I think we need to. I'm happy that we go ahead with that on the basis that those members that are listed are happy to take on that building.
Okay.
Okay, so shall we in that case say that we approve the membership for 2026-27, adopt the terms of reference for the Flood and River Management Advisory Committee on the basis that all those members listed are happy to be members. So I'll propose that. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Lefemina, all in favour? All in favour. Thank you. So, agenda item number 9, to approve the annual accounts year ending the 31st of March 2025 and 25-26 annual government accounting statement, AGAR. So you have seen copies of the internal auditors report, the balance sheet, the income summary of the income expenditure and the asset register. So we've got a few bits to do here, and there's a bit of reading, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
So, have you got any questions about the information that you've received?
No, on that basis, I would just like to say thank you to Bree, because we had the sort of lessons for those who perhaps weren't au fait with it, and that would be one of them being me. And so I much appreciate that all my questions were asked there, a lot of them, so a lot was clarified. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any other questions?
The internal
Yes.
auditor's report, it said about the burials. I just wondered who, it says that's, you know, a priority thing, obviously, you know, it's quite important. Who's going to take that on now as a priority?
So that's been delegated to the facilities officer, and we've set up weekly meetings, and that is all underway. So the assistant town clerk, who had done a lot of work since January, has done a full handover and has spent time upskilling the facilities officer.
Any other questions? Right, okay, so in that case,
Vote on this, please,
on the, which one?
on the,
Because there's five different, resolutions going to be here, so yeah.
Oh, gosh. Right,
So is it the auditor's report?
yes,
in
the
relation?
general auditor's report.
Yeah, okay, sure,
I'd like to abstain, that's why.
okay.
Thank you, because I've only been here 4 months, so.
Okay,
Don't have to be a bit of a vote. You know, abstain. So,
well, I'm happy to do it, it's not a problem. Item number 1 then, so to adopt the internal auditor's report and recommended actions for year ending the 31st of March 26, and notes the services of Do the Numbers Limited as the internal auditor for 2026-27. So I'll propose that. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Litton, all in favour? That's all in favour, apart from one abstention, Councillor Fenton. So adopt part 1. So the next resolution is adopt part 1 of the AGAR annual government statement for the year ending 31st of March 26, which we need to approve and sign
So you need to read out each of those assertions.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So it is a, do you want me to explain a bit?
yes, please. Yeah.
So for those of you that haven't signed off AGAR before, it is an annual commitment to sign off the governance and the processes and the finances. So within the annual AGAR, there are 10 assertions. So Councillor Harrison will read out each one. And if anybody's got any questions on each one, then just put your hand up and I'll answer the questions.
do we need to have them read out?
They do have to be read out. They do have to be read out because it's a big commitment that you have to then all collectively agree to.
Okay. So number 1. So we have put in place arrangements for effective financial management during the year and for the preparation of the accounting statements. Any questions? No. Number 2, we maintained an adequate system of internal control, including measures designed to prevent and detect fraud and corruption and review its effectiveness. Number 3, we have assured ourselves that there are no matters of actual or potential non-compliance with laws, regulations and proper practices that could have significant financial effect on the ability of this authority to conduct its business or manage its finances. 4, we provided proper opportunity during the year of the exercise of electors' rights in accordance with the requirements of the accounts and audit regulations. Number 5, so we carried out an assessment of the risks facing this authority and took appropriate steps to manage those risks, including the introduction of internal controls and or external insurance cover where required. 6, so we maintained throughout the year an adequate and effective system of internal audit of the accounting records and control systems. 7, we took appropriate action on all matters raised in reports from internal and external audit. Number 8, we considered whether any litigation, liabilities or commitments, events or transactions occurring either during or after the year end had a financial impact on this authority and where appropriate have included them in the accounting statements. Number 9, trust funds, including charitable, and in our capacity as the sole managing trustee, we discharge our accountability responsibilities for the fund or assets, including financial reporting and, if required, independent examination of audit. And then number 10, we have put in place arrangements for the effective IT and data management in accordance with proper practices during the year under review.
Okay. Just in terms of assertion 9, just to clarify, that is not applicable for this
Of
council.
course it is, yes. Well, so such a flow then. Okay, so on that basis then, so I propose then we adopt part 1 of the AGAR, that annual government statement for the year ending 31st of March 2026. We approve it and duly sign it. The second, Councillor Edge, all in favour? We'll sign that now.
We could do that at the end.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you. Part 2, the AGAR.
Yeah, so part 2, the AGAR is your accounting statement.
Okay, that doesn't need to be read out.
No, just ask any questions.
So for part 2 of the AGAR, obviously that was in your paperwork. Have you got any questions about any of the numbers, balances, anything that's on there?
Just can I just say?
Yes, please do.
So there is an accompanying document that will be sent off to the external auditor, which explains any variances over 5%. So in terms of receipts and payments, you'll be aware that last year the council committed to spend monies associated with Section 106 that wasn't budgeted for, hence why the expenditure was higher than originally planned, but that then was claimed back as Section 106 income in. And there were some adjustments that were needed during the year from the end of year 24-25. That work's all been carried out in collaboration with the Scribe team. So that spreadsheet explains those variances.
Okay, so there's no questions then. I propose that we adopt part 2 of the AGAR. Statement of accounts for the year ending 31st of March 2026 is approved and duly signed, and thereby approving the council's annual return. The seconder, Councillor Willock, all in favour? Okay, so we now need to confirm the dates for exercise of public rights as of the 3rd of June to the 14th of July 2025. Sorry, 26 that should be.
Yes, sorry, I meant to point it out.
So we've got a proposal from Councillor Blackman, seconder, Councillor Ditton, all in favour? Thank you. All in favour. And finally, to confirm that there are no conflicts of interest with PK Little John. You proposing?
Oh, yeah, Councillor.
Yes, that sound is proposing. Seconder, Councillor Ditton, all in favour. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes that item. So, item number 10. To receive and note the monthly payments and bank reconciliation for April 2026. So you'll note on there there's a list of payments over £5,000. There is one payment, which is noted, which is the annual insurance premium. But are there any questions on the bank reconciliation? No? Okay. So we don't need to vote.
There's 3 parts. So you're noting the receipts and payments that have gone through so far. No, you're just resolving to approve the payments.
Exactly.
29.
So, yes. So we need to ratify the zero insurance payment of £6,892.99.
Yeah.
So I would propose it for that, please. Councillor Edge, seconder. Councillor Ditton, all in favour? All in favour. And then in total then, to approve the payments, the total payments of £29,195.44. Can I have a proposer? Councillor Forbes, seconder. Councillor Lefemina, all in favour? Thank you. Right, agenda item number 11. So to approve the freedom of information, data protection legislation and website accessibility statement. So again, you were provided details of these within your paperwork. Are there any questions? No?
There are no changes, it's just.
It was reviewing and just being comfortable with the content.
We have made some changes because of the website update, which is now much more accessible and is now 89% compliant.
Okay, any other questions before I move? Okay, if not, then so, I propose that we approve, town council's model publication scheme privacy statement, data protection and website accessibility statement for 2026-27. Seconder, councillor Matthews, all in favour? All in favour, thank you. So, agenda item 12, to review and confirm bank signatories for 2026-27. Now, these aren't listed in here.
No, but currently you've got councillors Boyd, Blackman, Edge and Forbes that are signatures. They're in the, it's in the, on the agenda report.
Can I ask if they're happy to carry on?
I'm happy to carry on.
Yeah.
They are off proposed we
Continue with those, yeah. Seconder for that? Councillor Willock, all in favour? All in favour, yeah, so we'll continue with those.
Good.
To approve,
Saves a lot of work.
It's easier now than.
No, it's still a pain.
to approve the civic officers key holders for 26-27.
Yeah, I'm happy. Continue.
Okay. Everyone happy to continue?
The mayor will have a set of keys.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
We've currently got then councillors Boyd, Edge, Forbes and Harrison. So that's as it is then.
So this confirms that each appointed key holder is issued their own set of keys, access folders and recorded on a formal key register. And the name key holder list, including the call out order, will be maintained and kept up to date with the alarm monitoring and AR supervisor. So obviously assumes that everyone that is on that list is prepared and available for call out. So do I have a proposer? Councillor Edge, seconder. Councillor Boyd, all in favour? All in favour. Thank you. Okay, so agenda item number 14, to consider and comment on planning applications. So this is the request for retrospective permission to replace two rear first floor timber windows with new PVC windows at 34 South Street. Any comments?
Well, as the windows aren't facing the street, they're the rear of the house, so I can't see a problem with it.
Yes, they're quite hidden, aren't they? But I wondered if we could make no comment at all, because you're setting a precedent. If you let one person do it, you in a way can say other people. Yeah, we say about it, aren't we? I know that's why no comments to no comment, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because if we say no, they've got to change it. It doesn't look good on us. So I just think not to get too involved and sort of let Wiltshire Council deal with what the planning regulations are on this one. It's my thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have a view, Mr. Mayor, that I think we can't ignore, we can't make no comments to too many of these things, otherwise that actually does away with our role as a consultee, you know, it means it more, but I think, yes, whilst I take the point that I don't believe that we would be setting a precedent, I think that there's something, so I would, so I just want to throw that in.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, what you could do is support or no objection in principle, but you are
Keen not to set a precedent.
well, you're also keen to seek the guidance from the conservation officer, because it is in a conservation area. So that ultimately that decision will fall to the conservation officer. So you could defer comments.
So I
to that.
suggest that we approve
Support in principle.
Support in principles, subject to being in agreement with the conservation.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have a question, Freddie. So are we not allowed PVC windows? Because the house on North Street has just had them done.
Yeah, but it's a conservation, it's
Is it not apply here opposite the co-op conservation?
so it's the building, sorry.
Oh, so this is because of the listed. Oh, I see. And are there various degrees of listed building they can have?
Yes.
And do they always have to be all of them, or can it be only the road facing? So what I'm saying is it only road facing that is affected, or like if your back window is full seat?
It depends whether
No.
it's grade 1 or grade 2 listed. There's quite a few other.
Anything that happens to a listed building has to be approved, no matter whether it's front, back or wherever.
Right.
So that's why the application goes.
Councillor, for me, in agreement with referring to the conservation officer or?
Yes, I think we could go to conservation
Okay.
officer because it's, I wouldn't say, I agree, we shouldn't do it all the time, but in this situation.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Okay, so you propose that,
Yes, I am.
a seconder, councillor Ditton, all in favour? All in favour, okay. Right, so on to, agenda item number 15, so first of all, just receive a civic report myself, so I attended the, Rotary Gala on the 1st of May, the event that was for raising funds for Wilton Primary School to support improved outdoor learning and play spaces for pupils. I must say it was an absolutely amazing night, incredibly humbling. It was the first Rotary event that I've been to, but considering they raised £10,000 in the space of 6 hours, it really was quite incredible. So hats off to all involved in Rotary. It was an amazing evening. It's going to do a lot for Wilton School. And then I attended on Saturday the mayor making for Salisbury City Council, which again was a very humbling event to attend. And I wish the new mayor well in her role. And she's supporting Salisbury Food Bank, just for those who wish to know, so that you can make any donations. But yeah, it was a really fantastic event. Is there any other updates? Oh yes, please, Councillor.
I've got something written. So, dear Peter, I wanted to thank you on Rotary Club of Wilton most sincerely for the extraordinary generosity, match funding, and the money I had raised. That was a total surprise, and I'm really, really moved by that. And I'm sure that to Seeds for Success, it will make a massive difference. They can go on clearing the cycle paths. It will help near villages to us, our neighbours. And I was just really overwhelmed by that. So thank you so much to Wilton Rotary for that. And I was also at the civic event myself, as part of the inauguration of the new president, mayor. And we went as a family friend of the mayor, and it was very, very humbling, like Chris said, because Jenny is a person who has been there and done it. She has started right from the ground and it's now mayor. So she has understanding of all kinds of situations, what you can only think of, being homeless, having taken drugs and coming out the other side. This woman is really, really remarkable. And it was just wonderful to be able to attend and represent Wilton and sort of unofficially Wilton Town Council as well.
Can I just say on behalf of Wilton Rotary, thank you very much for your attendance, Mr. Mayor, our gala evening. And also thank you to Councillor Boyd. In fact, that was a retrospective because we've usually in the past, we have supported the mayor and their appeals. So we did with Councillor Crosley last year. And it slightly slipped off our radar. I'm sure you actually said about it. So I apologise for the latest.
No.
Thank you very much on behalf of Rotary for your comments. I will pass that on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other reports that members wish to make or local organisations? No?
You've got the police that you might want to read.
Yeah, I will read that out. Your exit on that one, I think that's where the second microphone coming from.
Oh, okay.
Right, so yes, there is a report from the police that they were unable to make it this evening. So I will read it out. So this report comes from PC Henry Palace and PCSO Charlotte King. So in terms of motor
So just the last few points on the clerk's report then.
Yeah, so we'll note that. So we've then got item number 16.3.1, which is based on the scope of works. Quotations have now been received for the council office's condition survey, condition report. Redacted copies of the quotations have been provided to members for consideration as part of the council quotation comparison and appointment process. Quotes can be viewed via the links that were included.
Just share. But so this is point 3 that's just come through.
Well, yeah, I am between 1 and 2. When I looked at them, I like the ambiance, if you like, of company A. I just like their way of thinking, and then of course they were cheaper, so I propose company A.
Okay, I've got a proposal. Is there a seconder for company A? Oh, councillor Boyd is seconder. Any other proposals?
Can I just say a bit?
Yeah.
The sheet that I've handed round for company C is quite a comprehensive quote, which although the grand total is more, if you look at the actual condition report of 2,200, it's pretty much in the range of the difference between A and B.
Yeah, I'm not going to move to a vote yet. I'm just collecting proposals. So we've got a proposal for company A.
So this is more detailed. Can I just ask a question? Because it's not always just about money, is it? So are there any other any other points that you've picked up on that you think maybe relevant to our discussion?
So I would say that all 3 companies were very impressive in terms of their credentials, in terms of their skills, and in terms of them having knowledge of historic buildings. Because this is the condition report, which is essentially stage 1. So what is wrong with the building? We know that there's been many years where there's been little investment made in the building itself. Stage 2 would be then to look at how we can repurpose the building to make it more modern and
Are any of these
functional.
particularly local? So
Company B is the most local.
okay.
Company C is semi-local,
Okay.
and company A is quite local. So company B is based in Wilton.
Okay.
Company A is based in North Dorset, and company C is based in Wilton. However, the guy doing this is based elsewhere.
Okay.
I quite liked B. And because they gave all their qualifications and things. They didn't say they, something that A said they couldn't do. I can't remember now, because I looked at it.
Yeah, because
There you go.
B you get more drawings and things.
That was it, yes.
Yeah.
Get schematic plan drawing, yeah.
Which might be useful for when you instruct work, if you've already got the drawings.
Notice that company A and company B don't actually do a survey of the roof.
No,
C do.
yes.
Which
Yeah,
is important.
but I think B does a drone survey. Of the roof.
I didn't see that.
Did we not have this done in 2023? I remember something, and then we did all the guttering and the soffit.
Guttering and something like,
The
there was something.
roof was looked at, wasn't it?
I think somebody who had a drone.
I'm not, yeah,
I think it was the clerk's husband, the then clerk's husband.
Like I say, somebody who used some
drone.
drone.
Yeah.
Visual. We do have a neighbour in Kingsbury Square that got a drone licence. There's one neighbour 3 doors away from the council officer that can do it.
Didn't we have gas central heating put in then? And the electrics looked at?
No, that's not going to
Was that just
It was 2023, I think, because Clark was working from home, I remember.
Was that not just a fire safety thing of the whole building
No
though?
gas. Anyway.
Does Councillor Blanford Hall have an opinion on, may I ask, Chair, sorry?
From what I've read this evening, you prefer company C, to be honest, because you get a far more comprehensive report from his description.
drone, so I can't see anything on these with drone like that.
Yeah, I was see driving on a big.
Company B will have got access to a drone, and that is confirmed.
But is that included in their figure?
You just double check.
They do the drawings as well.
He's done drawings. He doesn't specify it in the quote, but he has confirmed he has access to a drone. Gary thinks this is.
Should have been in the quote unit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got up at the moment.
No, I retract, because I don't have the knowledge, mine is based on the answer.
Can I propose C, please? This, yes.
So we've lost the proposal for company A, we have got a proposal for company C, is there a seconder?
Yeah,
Councillor Blanford Hole. So is there any other proposals? No, so for company C then, all in favour? 2 abstentions? Against, 2 against. Okay. There's company C. Um, 16.3.2. Seal payment of £3,565.48 was received from Wiltshire Council relating to planning application 2021-10587. So the funds are spent on community infrastructure. Funds have been allocated to the EMR play and open spaces. So it's just, we're looking for a ratification from the council that we are comfortable with those funds being moved to that EMR. I've got a proposer, Councillor Ditton, seconded for Councillor Boyd, all in favour? All in favour. Policy document review. So officers are conducting a full audit of the town council policies, consolidating those with similar themes into single policies and updating review dates accordingly, allowing for typical reviews to be conducted in a timely manner. The council currently has 48 policies, of which 17 were due for review between 2022 and 24. As each policy is revised, a short summary of changes will be published alongside the updated document to ensure amendments are transparent and easy to track ahead of council consideration and approval.
I think those were only the last 6 years, 4 years, wasn't it?
So we've been asked to resolve to note this policy update.
Yeah.
Okay, so proposed by Councillor Edge, seconded by Councillor Ditton, all in favour? All in favour. And then item 16.3.4, so Wilton Carnival on Saturday the 4th of July. Councillors are asked to consider whether they wish to take part in the carnival procession, assembling at 12 noon in the Market Square and processing to Castle Meadow at 1 p.m. 2026 theme is Out of This World. If participating councillors may choose to join in civic gowns and regalia, or as members of the community in casual formal dress with families welcome to join the procession. So we are asked to consider whether we wish to participate in this
Can
event.
I propose for the second, because I mean, you and me and councillor, a few of our as councillors, Councillor Blackman, we've seen how heavy these robes are, and if it's raining, they get even heavier. You have to store them in the car. If we did it last year in our casual clothes and sort of themed them around the theme, and I found that much easier. So I would propose that we go with option 2, please.
Okay. Any other views, opinions, or otherwise?
Also, if it's hot, you know, we have on your heat wave, I don't think we want to wear a
Half of that, yeah.
I was going to say, a half of it's going to be busy elsewhere doing
Well,
carnival type stuff.
That's an important point to mention. So, yeah, there's a question of whether or not we do it as a group or whether we. I defer to members of the carnival committee if they're present as to what the aspiration is.
Well, I think it's always nice to get the council to attend, and then in all honesty, I think it'd be nice for me to sneak away for about half an hour, just do something casual, rather than have to worry about if they have to work out about the day. And I'm sure council didn't get away for a few minutes. So yeah, if it happens, support on somewhere.
Okay, so
I think it's nice when I've done the carnival with gowns and I've done it without, and I think when we did it with the gowns, it was almost
trying to get our faces known to the community more, though, like now with all the social media we've got, you know, I think they clearly know who we are now. And I think in clement weather, they need to be gone. And if it's too hot, they need to be gone. It becomes a bit of a nuisance then for people. But I think as a group, being part of the carnival is part of the community. And I quite like, you know, just tagging along nicely that we should have.
In fairness, I would prefer the members to be in gowns because that does differentiate them. Then people just say, well, it's that bunch of people walking in front of the XYZ or whatever, you know. It does add a little bit, because people do recognise their councillors then, where they're contrary to what you say, they make. No, I've been around for donkeys years.
Yeah.
People still don't know who I am half the time, but you know, that's
No way.
But the social media is putting our faces out there already. A lot of people know who we are. You know, if the mayor and the deputy mayor would like to wear their chains, maybe
Yeah, I think
to show, and we could wear our lanyards with the names on, so that I'm happy to make a placard or get my kids to make a placard saying Wilton Town Councillors and make one of them carry it in front of us. I don't know.
We've got 2 months to make a float.
Councillor,
We don't wear gowns, we're in the lanyards.
okay. Good. Yes.
I'm just going to say we have got our banner. If you want to carry the banner.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
To differentiate.
So I think in summary then, we're saying yes. Okay, so probably not in gowns, but we're saying yes. Okay, so we just need to.
Can I propose that we do it as a group, or those who can attend with the banner, with also you, Alex, with the signage on your review and children, or part of it.
Indeed. The seconder for that. So, yeah, so Councillor Boyd, sure you can manifest that into a proposal. All in favour? All in favour? Yeah, thank you. Okay. So item number 17 is going to go into private session. So we will end up concluding the public session. So I'm going to propose that the public be excluded during the discussion of the remaining agenda items on the grounds that they involve the likely disclosure of confidential information and the public interest in maintaining the exemption outweighs the prohibiting against the disclosing information. Can I have a second, please? Councillor Ditton, all in favour? All in favour. Thank you very much for joining.